Hey guys, welcome back to Nosedive. We're so stoked for this episode because we just got back from a very exciting trip to NYC. Just two Southern belles in the city, bopping around, trying to figure out the fucking subway, which was so fun. Yeah, just so excited to kind of get into this trip. So many amazing synchronicities happen, just some crazy shit happened while we were in New York City. I feel like lots of people watching, meeting new people in general, making some really cool connections, and connecting with some people that we've known for a really long time. So, yeah, Mara, why don't we just go ahead and jump right in? Because originally, let me just give some backstory. So, the whole reason why I originally was going to go to New York City is because Nosedive partnered with Mobius. It's a fitness app. I met Caroline, a shout out to Caroline and Julia from Mobius. They're the co-founders through Launch Break, which is a networking site for former collegiate athletes. And so we partnered with them to celebrate Sober-ish October. We had an event there, and Mara originally wasn't going to come. And I'm like, and not for any particular reason, just like timelines and all that shit. And ended up making it happen. And I think like it just enhanced the trip to a completely different level. So that's the whole premise of why, I was going there in the first place. And then so stoked that Mara was able to come as well. And then I think that just kind of like opened the floodgates of just like incredible shit that happened while we were there. So yeah, Mara, take it away.
Yeah, it was such a fun trip. I'm really glad we were able to experience that together. Um, and I think what's really cool is that we both have been to New York before.
Yeah.
It's not like it was our first time ever in the
Yeah.
city, but
We're
it
world
was the
travelers,
first.
people. Okay. It's not like we haven't like fucking traveled at all. But anyways.
Well, I mean, I haven't traveled that much. I'm still pretty ignorant to a lot of things, unfortunately, but one day. But my point is that we've been there before, but this was the first time that we were there with new eyes. Having gone through just the past few, couple years of regaining some clarity throughout our journeys and getting a little bit more confident with ourselves and more open to opportunities and exploring and kind of going into new situations with more of a playful mindset. And y'all, all I can say is good thing Renee was there when it comes to navigating, because like I was literally the most useless thing to exist when it comes to that. Like the trains, first of all, I'm amazed, just period, point blank amazed with the city. Not just Manhattan, but we spent a lot of time in Brooklyn, and the fact that they built that subway system 100 years ago, I'm just like, why don't we have that everywhere? And don't come at me with the
The
quote
whole
unquote reasons
infrastructure and all that
why.
shit. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't care. Like it's possible, so like we need to do this. It's insane the amount of logistics that go into it, and they have like a gazillion fucking people living there. I think we can do this in more places, and it's just amazing.
We
Like
were we were in awe. We were like underground, like felt like Ninja Turtle style. We were like
yeah,
coming up from the fucking underground, and it was like we were looking around, like how the fuck did they come down here? And like, did they
yeah,
blow it up without blowing up the whole street? How does that happen?
right. Maybe come at me with how they do
How
that
they do
part,
that?
but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
not how we can't do it in other places, but how they did that. Um, but it was, one day I spent with my brother pretty much the whole day while Renee went off to an event, and we kept calling them like portals. Like it's like the closest thing to teleportation that I've experienced, which is a superpower that I always wish I had. Was just like you go underground, you go in this little fucking tunnel thing, and you just like it shoots you out 20 minutes later, and you're in a whole different world. And you go back underground and you like travel and you shoot back out and you're like somewhere else. And it's like, come on, this is amazing. And I think when I visited in the past, I didn't have that same awe or appreciation. That is definitely something that has enhanced with over my journey of being alcohol free. The dial on the awe,
Mm,
like
yeah.
AWE, has just like ramped up. Like the smallest things amaze me. And because yeah, like things aren't as dull. And so something that I've experienced before several times that I just was kind of like, yeah, whatever, has like really blown me away. Um, but yeah, I like hit quote unquote hit 3 years of being alcohol free. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to dive in to that a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Well, and it's funny because it's like it wasn't I didn't even know. I knew it was October, but it it's like one of these things that it wasn't the focal point for the trip or necessarily even for you. It was kind of one of these things that sort of unfolded while we were there, and because of just like, of course, when we get together, we talk about things very in depth and like our journeys and where we are and what's going on and all of those things. And it was kind of one of these topics that was like, oh, yeah, like, oh, shit, I need to celebrate this. Like, we're in New York City and I haven't, I've been alcohol free for 3 years, dude, which is like, it should be celebrated. But I think it's so interesting how it's not necessarily or it wasn't necessarily at the forefront of your mind.
Totally.
Yeah.
I we talk about time and how it's like not real or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, time is not real because it, it's really not something that I've ever like counted. Like, I my life wasn't quote unquote falling apart because of my drinking habits. I
Right.
wasn't even a daily drinker or even weekly sometimes.
Yeah.
My style was more so like binge drinker occasionally. Um but it was still like a knowing in me that it was a blockage
Yeah.
to my perception of everything else around me and my ability to meet everyday life with a little bit more intimacy. And so, it wasn't something that I've like been counting down the days, but it just dawned on me. It really dawned on me because I was having a conversation with a family member about, I'm super stoked to go to New York and it's going to be fun. And they were like, whoa, well, don't have too much fun now. I was like, well, what do you mean? And they're like, yeah, like don't go off having a bunch of drinks or something. And I was like, okay, like what?
Well,
Like,
also the term too that you said is like a slip up. Not you
yeah,
said that the family member of the conversation was like a slip up. It's like,
yeah.
what?
Like, what does that mean? Like, because it's and I know it was like a harmless comment from them.
Yeah.
But it allowed me to like think about just like the language we use around these things and about our choice and this gray area space. Because, when we traditionally think or historically, whatever, think about people who decide to go alcohol free, it's because their life is in shambles and they have to, and they can't even have one sip of alcohol. Otherwise, it unravels for them. And for some people, that is the case. So I'm
Yeah.
not denying the reality of that. However, there are other people who choose not to drink just on a regular basis just because they feel better when they don't. And if they wanted to have a drink, they could have one and go back to not drinking for a long time and their life wouldn't fall apart. Um, and I happen to fall in that category.
Yeah.
So to me, it wouldn't be a slip up, like it
Yeah.
would just be me having a drink, like
Well, it's
no
just
big
you in
deal.
New York. It's just you in New York City.
Yeah.
Like
Like
any other,
whatever.
yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. And, so it kind of got me thinking. I was like, ooh, like, am I gonna party in
I
New
know
York
we talked about it.
City?
We're like, "Oh, well, if there was a time, I guess, like, maybe this would be it." I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, and so just kind of being playful with that. But in all honesty, at the end of the day, I was like, no, it's just I guess it's wild to me to put like a number on something and be like, oh yeah, it's been 3 years since I like haven't done this thing. Um, because commitment in general to a lot of things, is really challenging. There aren't many other things that I can say that I have like been consistent with
Mm,
every single day
yeah.
for a big chunk of time. And so I guess that's kind of why it's it's kind of like exciting to acknowledge.
Yeah.
Um and as we say all the time, like it's not like I'm sitting here white knuckling it, gripping like, "Okay, I hit 3 years." I'm like, I've actually literally never regretted this whole entire time not drinking.
Yeah.
Like not even once.
Right. Right. Well,
Um,
and it's just reflection. Like, it's a time to reflect on that piece, which I think is worth celebrating, is your consistency with something, not because, like you said, not because of like health reasons necessarily, or because you felt like you had to, but it's a lifestyle. And I think that's maybe, what I take away from your story too. It's implementing something into your life to where you don't even really necessarily think about it anymore. It's just second nature. Like, this is sort of your um it's just kind of like how you live your life. And
yeah,
if you wanted to have one drink, it wouldn't then spiral your life into any kind of despair. Like, it would be
right.
okay. Which is just like also just very like cool to see. Just like with my own journey too, like in situations like this, going to New York City, fuck, it would have been a free for all, probably. Like, where are we going to the bars, especially in New York City, I think, because they are, foodie, bar scene, everything's walkable. So it's like, you don't even have to worry about like getting a DD or Subway, all that stuff. Like, now that I'm reflecting back on this whole situation, it's like that would have been the highlight for me, is
Mhm.
like, okay, where are we going to go get some
Yep.
really cool, fun, fancy drinks? And instead, we did so many other fucking cool things. Which doesn't mean
Totally.
you
I'm like,
can't have a
how
drink, but
right. Like how would you even have time? That's the thing. Like everything is a choice, right? Like you choose how you want to spend your time.
yeah.
And dude, we were literally on the go from the minute we woke up till 11:30 at night, if not later. I haven't been like that exhausted after every single day. I'm like, can you imagine us drinking on top of this?
No.
Like I actually can't. Like
No.
how my body would feel. It already needed so much rest,
Right.
and then to put something in my body that would, like, prevent me from getting the best rest that I could, like, I don't know. I don't know if I'd be able to do it.
I couldn't. Absolutely not. We were walking like a minimum of 5 miles a day, and also just navigating, which I think is super ironic because I'm very directionally challenged people, okay? And so the fact that I was on fucking Google Maps figuring out the subway, like, if I was drunk doing that, we would have ended up on the other side of the city probably.
Different kind of adventures, which,
Different kind of
something to
adventure.
be said for that too.
Yeah, right, right.
Um, you know, what I was thinking though too, like because I think something that I always try to be mindful of is, like, when I talk about my alcohol-free journey, I whether for the good or the bad, like someone could be like, well, you don't feel this way or whatever. It is something that I think about. I never want people to feel like I am trying to like be like, my way is the right way, like
Mm,
be alcohol free and your life is going to be amazing. Like, I don't want to come off that way. And I hope I don't, but, and it's out of my control. However, someone wants to perceive what I say, they perceive it that way. However, I just like want people to know that my perception on all of this is that I believe we live in a world in which we have many layers of different things that keep us from being our most, confident, genuine, loving, authentic version of ourselves. And alcohol happens to be, one of those things for me. And it was like in a very quiet way. And I'm sure there are many other things that also, you know, still have that barrier on me, like that I don't, but it just, I'm like stumbling on my words here because yeah, it's just like, it's, it's okay to start somewhere.
yeah.
Like maybe it's not alcohol for you,
Right.
maybe it's something else. And there's just all these layers that we can like peel back. And yeah, this is happens to be the one thing that I chose, or one of the things that I chose that I stuck with that I feel like has really enhanced my life. And so it's more of an invitation to anyone who is also curious about how it might, and knowing that like we're here. That's why we show up here to like encourage you and support you in whatever that layer might be for you. But it's
Yeah.
regardless, the message is to just numb less and live more. And that's what we're really moving towards to that conversation. And this trip is just sort of a reflection of what can come about when you take on that perspective.
Yeah, and for me, it was escaping the thoughts and like the war that was going on in my own head when it came to my drinking, and it was becoming something that was going to be detrimental for me. And so through this entire process, it's just an open invitation, like you said, to kind of ask the question about what it is you really want from life. And I don't think we can be fully present to ask that question if we're numbing with whatever substance it is, whether that is social media, whether that is actual like substances like alcohol or drugs, or just overindulging in general to kind of push down those thoughts that are going on in your head. And this entire trip, I I just saw things from a completely different perspective with much clearer eyes to be able to be at one point too we split off. And so I was like,
A couple times.
we were by ourselves, and I was by myself like figuring out this shit. And I, I don't know. I do know. I don't think I would have done that if I wasn't alcohol free. And maybe it's just easier for me and my brain to kind of process this shit, to like equate those things with one another, to be able to be like, oh, yeah, that's the reason why I did that or whatever. But I really don't think that I would have the confidence in myself to know that even if I did get lost, oh well, like I'll fucking figure it out. I have a phone, like I literally have a computer in my fucking hand, like I can
Right.
figure it out. And so pushing past all of that, like it's alcohol was such a crutch for me to kind of fall back on, and now I fall back on myself.
Mm, snaps.
It's naps for me.
We have a guest here, goes by Quinoa.
Hi, Kiki.
um,
Oh
yeah.
my god, so many dogs too, by the way.
Oh
Perfect
my
timing,
god. Yes.
bro.
So many dogs. So much fun saying hi to all of them. And what you said reminded me of, because you're like navigating the city. Uh, I feel like I had a really great um, experience with so many people being really helpful,
Yeah.
like, and kind. like in the coffee shops, talkative, and just like, hey, which train is this? Immediately they tell you, where to
Yeah.
go. And I just thought that was really, really nice. Sometimes New Yorkers get a bad rep, and it's
Yeah.
like, "Mm, I
We had a
don't know,
different experience.
kind of nice."
Yeah, it
Um,
was.
Something else fun I think we can kind of dive into are the synchronicities that happened along the way.
Oh my god, dude, this was, like, fucking crazy. So crazy.
Yeah. I feel like there are there are like three main ones that
Yeah,
come to my head straight away. And if you think of any other ones, please.
yeah.
So the first one, we show up to the Sober October event, um, hosted in partnership with Mobius, and we're having this great conversation with this girl, and she is talking about how she just quit her job of 11-year run working in advertising for big pharma. She's like, I couldn't fucking do it anymore. Like, and I'm like, I don't blame you.
Yeah,
Like, sounds soul sucking for
yeah,
sure. And we were having just a really great conversation. She's like, I've been in and out of doing alcohol free, you know cycles, and just going about it. And then I think she asked like where I lived or something like that. And I was like, oh, I live in Charleston. She's like, no way. She's like, my parents just moved to Johns Island a month ago. And I was like, what?
What?
Like, someone who is literally born and raised in New York, just an hour outside of Manhattan, whose parents just moved to Johns Island, which is like 15 minutes from me. And she's visiting for Thanksgiving and for Christmas. And I was like, dude, like, we exchanged numbers. She's like, oh, I'd
Yeah.
love to surf. Like, I'll get a wetsuit. So we're going to hang out when she comes here. And I'm like, it's just so fun to meet people in that spontaneous way. And I swear there's something with Charleston. It's like a vortex. Like, everywhere I go, I kind of meet someone who's somehow connected. It's really fun. And that's just like, and then we ended up going out to go dancing that night. We were
Yeah,
just like, let's go.
yeah.
Unfortunately, it was too
It
early
was too
for
early for
the city goers, 10:30 at night,
Ugh.
for there to be much dancing. But we still tried.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we even
Yeah,
saw, like, South Carolina plates, I'm pretty sure, when we were, like, walking around, like, the different cars and shit, and I was like, "Whoa, that's
yeah.
kinda crazy." Yeah, the other synchronicity and I'll let you speak to that one with Andy, but, what was that second one? I just lost it.
The second one I was going to talk about was running into my brother.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Go ahead.
how how like so we decided, so we were about 7-minute walk from my brother's place, and every day when we'd go out on our adventure, we would take basically the same route. We take the same train and go from there. This day, we were like, you know what? Let's go a totally different way. Let's the opposite direction, whatever. And I was texting my brother about something, trying to get some recommendation. I don't know, a food for a quick bite to eat because we we're on our way
Yeah.
to this event. And he responds kind of like an hour later. He's like, "Oh, my bad. Sorry, I'm just seeing this. I was in the seat at the barber." And I was like, "Okay, no worries."
Also, what a New
And
York answer.
I know. There's barbers everywhere. I'm like, this is amazing. And so we're walking. I put my phone away. We're walking. We're going over this big bridge. Do you know what bridge that was?
Uh, I don't.
Okay, me either. It wasn't the
Mm,
Brooklyn Bridge.
no, I was about to say that, but I was like, I'm just saying that because we stayed in Brooklyn and that's the only
Right.
bridge that we walked over, so probably not.
Right. Right. But anyway, we're walking over this bridge, and I'm just looking at all these people walking the bridge. And Renee's like, hi. And I'm look at her and I'm like, who are you saying hi to? And Renee's just like looking at me, and I'm like, okay. And then I like look back over, and my brother is fucking standing right there. And I was like, we're both just like, huh? Like, it was this like,
You were
it
so
took me
surprised.
it took me
You
a
were like, "Who the
minute.
fuck are you
I was
talking
like,
to?"
what are you doing here? Like, I was literally, we're talking about teleportation. It was just another moment of that. Like, I just I have no idea where my brother's barber is. Like, it could have been anywhere in the damn city. And this guy happens to be walking right over the bridge. He also went to a store and got some, food to cook with. And we just happened to be passing each other at the same exact time. And he was even like, this doesn't happen. Like, this is rare.
Yeah.
And yeah, we were just like, whoa, it was just so fun. And it was just kind of like that feeling of like, oh yeah, like we're home. My brother and I we haven't lived in the same place in Miami where we grew up for many, many years. And it was kind of
Mhm.
that feeling like, oh, we both kind of live in Brooklyn and we just like happen to see each other. And
Yeah.
it was just like, yeah, a silly,
Wholesome.
yeah,
So
wholesome.
wholesome. Yeah. And then the other one too, like this one wasn't even really mine. It was your Uber ride back to the hotel, and you were talking with the Uber driver. And what did he say? I guess his daughter was moving or had just moved to the Cumming, Georgia area, which is, for those of you that don't know, it's where I grew up and where I'm from.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. So to even preface that even more, like Renee grew up in Cumming, Georgia, small ass
small.
town in
Yeah.
Georgia, and I'm in this Uber drive, 11 o'clock at night. And he's like, dude's from West Africa. He's like, I've lived in the city for 20 years. It's great. And I'm like, okay. I was like, if you could live anywhere else, where would you want to go? And he's like, I don't know. He's like, I really like Georgia. And I was like, oh, really? I was like, what part of Georgia? And he's like, well, my daughter went to whatever the high school is, one of the high schools
Oh,
in
yeah.
Cumming.
Central, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, it sounded kind of familiar. And then he's like, Cumming, Georgia. And I was like, I wish I
Excuse
had it
me?
recorded. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, "What do you mean? Cumming, Georgia? How do you know?" Like,
Yeah.
I'm not even I'm, like, from the States, and I had no idea. And that's what I mean. I may be pretty ignorant, like, to
Well,
what,
and that's the thing, like, when people ask where I'm from, usually I'll say, like, Atlanta or something like
Mhm.
that because everybody fucking knows Atlanta.
Right.
So when you told me that, you're like, "Nay, I
Yeah.
have to tell you something," when you got back into the hotel room, I was like, "Holy shit, there's no fucking
Yeah.
way, dude. That's just
Yeah.
crazy. It's so crazy."
It's pretty
Oh,
funny.
man. Okay, and then I feel like the last sort of big one, is meeting up with our old buddy from grad school, which is so like I still too remember admiring Andy so much because like at that time and now for his entrepreneurial spirit even
We
back
should bring him
then.
on the pod. We
We
should bring him
really
on.
need to. Yeah, absolutely,
It's
for
fucking
sure.
great.
Yeah, his story is just, like, absolutely incredible, inspiring. He is by far, I think, probably the nicest dude I've ever that I've ever met. Like, he is just
100%.
so kind and thoughtful and just very uplifting. Like, he is someone that you want in your camp for sure. So I'll let you tell the story because you reached out to him. Social media is a fucking crazy thing, y'all. Like,
I know.
totally
It's
crazy.
like pros and cons per usual, but yeah,
Mhm.
I happened to be on social media and I'm scrolling at night in bed and like I shouldn't be. And I see a story that Andy posted and he's like, it's like a selfie, first time in the city. And I was like, Andy? I was like, you're in the city? I'm like, I'm here with Renee from Armstrong. And I was like, we're also nearby. And he was like, what? He's like, no way. I was like, I would love to see you. He's like, no way. I'm also in the city with, Thomas from Armstrong. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And, we all went to grad school together. And so he's like, okay. I was like, well, we're going to be in Manhattan, tomorrow for a Broadway show at 7. And he's like, we're going to be in Manhattan tomorrow at 7 for a Broadway show. And I was like, okay. And he's like, yeah, do you want to grab dinner before? And, so we did. And just like Renee said, like he's amazing. Thomas is amazing. We just had such a nice conversation around really like the pros and cons of like working in quote unquote corporate sector
Yeah.
and kind of that lifestyle versus doing the mix and match, piece your, different types of jobs together to make ends meet type of jobs, and just entrepreneurship. This guy had, he was born in the States, but his family was from Costa Rica, moved back to Costa Rica like when he was a little kid, then came over to back to the States by himself when he was 15 to go to high school, put himself through college, grad school. And I just remember in grad school, he already had a couple businesses going,
Yeah.
and I was like, it was like just something that never even crossed my mind. I was like, how is this kid doing this? Like, why?
Yeah.
What? I was always really intrigued with his journey. And yeah, I would love to bring him on because he really is just so inspiring.
He was light years
And
ahead, like light
yeah,
years ahead with his just
yeah,
thought process. And, his first company that I remember is like a food delivery service in Savannah. And this was
yep,
before DoorDash, before Uber Eats. It's fucking
yep.
crazy, dude. Crazy.
Turby, right?
Derby. Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Turby.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Amazing.
cool.
Yeah. So, needless to say, and there were other synchronicities in there, but I'm not going to sit here and bore you with all of them. But if you're into that kind of stuff, this trip was definitely filled with that. And it's just like little moments of like that feel like magic. It's like, doesn't necessarily have to mean anything super crazy, but it feels fun and it feels exciting. And that's all that matters. That's all I fucking care about. I'm like, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yeah, I was gonna say that exact same term, just magical. It feels like that last puzzle piece. Like you find that last puzzle piece and you put it in the open space. You know what I mean? Like
Mm,
it's that feeling of you're where you're supposed to be. Like there's no
mm-hmm.
other like fitting that the round in the round or the square in the
Yeah.
square piece. Like you're just where you're supposed to be, and being able to also be fully aware in my thoughts at that moment and being so present and not flooding my system with worrying about all the shit I should be doing or what all of this other shit that usually comes with anxiety and just the challenges of life. Just so thankful to be surrounded by people who are so helpful and like uplifting and who also want to have a good time. And like also shout out to Jamie Stevenson. She is the operational manager at the Barclays Center. She got up early and took me on a tour of the Barclays Center. Just like, I mean, that's just like a good fucking person to me. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
she's got her own life, she's got her own shit going on, she's got her kids, she's got her job, but she took the time to meet with me. I've never met her in person. We've only exchanged messages through text and like email. And she's like, yeah, come down. I'll show you around. It's like a private tour. Like, and no cost, no nothing, just like
Right.
because she's so passionate about what she does.
Right.
And, I just think that that's something that we can all do that costs nothing. It's just having that really good attitude. And of course, it's not going to be all the time, but just extending that hand to listen to somebody else's story and see if you can help them in some way, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Magic, magic.
Yeah, magic. What do you feel like was well, first of all, I wanted to say that how you said, it's like this feeling of being in the right place at the right time. It's like this, there's so many moments throughout my day where I'm like, I don't feel like I'm in the right place at the right time. What should I be doing? I'm not doing da 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 da. And I think I'm going to ponder on that connection for a bit because that those moments of synchronicity, that is exactly what it feels like. You are in the right place at the right time. And so how do you build more of that throughout,
Mm,
our everyday? Or as much as we can, and maybe when we don't feel those like super high synchronistic situations, how can we maybe feel it in a different way to know that like we are where we're supposed to be. That's okay. But it's
yeah.
such an assured feeling. It's like a fucking warm hug.
Yes. Yeah, totally. It's
Hmm.
like, yeah, it's that safety piece
Yeah.
that I think that we all crave just as human beings, looking for connection, looking for answers. And a lot of the times, I think we strive to find those answers outside of ourselves. And we're constantly searching when in reality, it's like you can do that shit for yourself. And I know that that's
Mhm.
difficult to say. And I know that's not tactical, tangible for people sometimes, which, of course, I struggle with too. It's like, how do I do that? Tell me how to do that. And how do you grasp situations like that when it's not necessarily something that you can grab? But it's a
Yeah.
feeling. And I think the more that we get acquainted with what our presence feels like and
Mm.
realizing that just existing, we talked about this right before we
Mhm.
hopped on, just existing is enough. Your
Mhm.
joy and what you bring to this world and how you interact with the world and how you interact with other people, like that's good enough. It's
Yeah.
more than enough.
Yeah.
And I need to remind myself of that too.
Right.
Yeah.
I know. Like everything we say is like because it's a reminder for ourselves.
Yeah.
It's never
Yeah.
like above this shit. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah, I know.
Um, yeah. What would you say is like your biggest highlight or takeaway from the trip?
I want to say how proud I am of myself, I think, which I touched upon a little bit of pushing through some fears of like doing the opposite of what I would normally do. Cause there was like we're getting off the plane, we met each other, and I started feeling that anxiety. I was like, hey, just take an Uber. Fuck it. Like, I'll spend the money. I don't care. Whatever. And you go, no, Renee, like, let's take the subway. Let's do it. Like, we can do this. And I was like, okay. And then we get down there and there's so many fucking people. And I'm like, this is my worst fucking nightmare. Oh my God. I was like, this is terrible. But then we get on, it's fine. And then I ended up really embracing it. And I
You
really,
became the
really,
navigator.
became the navigator, which is so ironic. And so, yeah, I'm proud of myself for kind of like pushing through some of those fears and realizing that I can do shit by myself. I really can. And that I'm my biggest cheerleader, but also like, I just had a really fun time just in general connecting with people,
Yeah.
and networking and just getting to know people. That was just such a fun thing for me because I think, with leaving Gulfstream and not being in a normal setting where I'm around people every day
Mhm.
so much anymore, it was just really nice to connect, with people who are interested in the same topics. I sat and talked with the same group of people almost the entire time at that event because he was talking about like neuroplasticity and, just different things and different topics that I'm also interested in. So it's just really fun to surround yourself with people like that who have
Yeah.
different perspective, but still there's like a through line where you can kind of
Yes.
resonate. Yeah, it was just a good fucking time. It also made me really grateful for the life that I have here.
Yeah.
Like my creature comforts and like, wow, I'm really fucking lucky to,
Mhm.
and it's not just about the possessions, but just the people I have in my life and the decisions that I've made. I'm just really fucking happy with it.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah. No, I love everything you said. And I feel like I second that just in I think, yeah, the highlights were I don't know, the synchronicities, the just watching people. Like I've just how many different ways there are to do life
Mm,
and just being totally amazed by it. Um yeah, I could have spent more time there. Um and I'm excited to go back. And I'm really like I was really grateful to come home to my home,
Yeah.
and I have a lot of access to the outdoors here and greenery, and that is something that um, sometimes I guess I can take for granted
Mm,
or kind of see past. And yeah, that's why I guess it's so enriching to travel even within our own our own borders,
yeah.
because there you can just really like see a lot of differences and a lot of similarities too, and learn so much. And I just find that really fascinating.
Yeah.
So
Step out of your bubble. And yeah, I agree with like the nature piece for sure. Like there are green spaces. We went to Prospect Park and
yeah,
that was really, really fun. Just seeing all the different types of people there, young, old, like all facets of different people, which is just exciting to see. But like, yeah, we were walking around and it's like, there's just a lot of buildings and concrete and it's
yeah,
like, where do you put your feet in grass? Like, I don't fucking know.
yeah,
Like, where are these dogs taking shits on the side of the street? Okay, like that's just
yeah,
like how life is, and
right,
yeah, it's different, but I like that. I
yeah,
like being surrounded by things that kind of push you out of your comfort zone and that you're not really used to because it gives you perspective.
yeah, totally.
Yeah, right
So
on,
fun.
dude.
Highly recommend, 10 out of 10. And, this is like one of those things that people will be like, so, when there's nothing else to say, like, how's the weather? But like literally the weather was amazing. It
It
was
was,
sunny and a little bit crisp. And that can really change your perspective and experience of, being a visitor somewhere. And I was like, it was absolutely the best
yeah, put a pep
the
in
whole
my
time.
step for sure.
Yeah.
Like when I feel that fall crispness, and that's something that I miss, being closer to like North Georgia and the mountains is more of that seasonal change, which we just don't really get in the low country. We get maybe
Low
like
country.
one or two trees that change for a little while. But yeah, that crispness just like awakens something in me that I'm like, oh my God, I love this shit. Just makes me feel so good. And call me a stereotypical white woman, but I love the fall. And that's just it backs it up. Like, what do you want me to do? It is what it is.
What do you want us to do?
What do you want me to
Yeah,
do?
loved it, loved it.
Well, it was so fun traveling with you, Maro. Like,
I
you
know.
push me to do things that I normally, you're like, you want to go to the same coffee shop? Let's go to a different coffee shop. And what happened? There was a dog there that really took a liking to me, that really made my day.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Kiefer, I think yeah, Kiefer.
His name was Kiefer? Hmm,
I might be making that up. No, I
I
think
don't
that's what it
know.
was. But he was so fucking cute. And she was like, oh my God, he really likes you. That made my day. And I had one of the best cappuccinos. So do
Wow.
the thing that you
That's
normally don't do.
it's so funny, yeah, because, like, I didn't even remember. Like, I don't even remember saying that. Like, now that you bring it up, I do, but it's something that I was just like, "Really? You wanna go to the same one? Let's go somewhere else." Like,
Yeah.
but it had an impact on you in a certain way,
Yeah.
and I was just like,
Yeah.
"Oh,"
Yeah.
but I agree, like, I had so much fun,
Yeah.
like, traveling with you, and it's just so nice to travel with someone like you're on the same page, and we both have, like, interests and, maybe similar things and some different things, and we're able to, like, split up and come back together, and then we, like, talk about it, and, and then both of us being flexible with, like, "You wanna go do this? Okay, yeah, let's go do this."
Yeah.
Definitely moments of, like, I thought my feet were gonna fall off, fucking trekking 30 miles through the city in fucking Doc Martens, like,
Yeah.
they're so heavy,
Good thing we had
but,
band-aids. We're prepped.
yeah, Band-Aids.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so grateful.
Yeah.
So
It
thank
was
you.
fun. Yeah. So just to
And
talk
we
to
saw Wicked.
Oh my God, dude. Wicked. It was my first Broadway show, you guys. And I cried. I did. I cried.
I
The
cried too.
costumes, that close, being that close to like these entertainers, artists, like true thespians. Like, bro, it was just like it was so incredible. Like I understand now why people are like obsessed with Broadway. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was absolutely incredible. And We also wanted to, which I I kind of forgot what we were going to do this at the beginning, but just talking a little bit too quickly about Nosedive. For those of you who have been with us since January when we launched this podcast, first of all, thanks for staying this long. Like we love being able to do this and bring conversations to you that we think might be helpful, but we're shifting a little bit, kind of in the same premise of removing and reducing things that can kind of numb us out. But yeah, numbing less, living more. And I think the shift for us here is bringing you more people and guests who are living lifestyles that are non-conventional, that are kind of out of the status quo, to really show you guys like what's possible when we do start to push past that fear and really get into the nitty gritty of what it is we want from life, because we only get one and we want to fucking live it and we want to have a good fucking time doing it. So not only just listening to our experiences, but bringing you experiences from people who we just think are cool and are odd and maybe a little weird, and just doing really cool shit that we think could be beneficial to you. Mara, do you have anything to add to that too?
No, it's like mic drop. I think that's amazing. I'm really excited to continue to have these conversations and meet people. It's like, it's literally what I've always wanted to do, or what I have always enjoyed doing, is like
Yeah.
being out and about and meeting someone and having a conversation. Like my friends make jokes about it. I'm like, I fucking love it. So I'm
Yeah.
stoked.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've got some really exciting guests coming your way in the next couple episodes. We've got, people who are in the alcohol free space, people who are in the dating space. So bring some like relationship things to the table. We've got coaches, we've got all different people from all different like walks of life. So we hope that you stay tuned with us. If you ever have any topics too that you want us to cover, or if you think that there's someone who you think we need to talk to, shoot us an email at info@nosedive-co.com. Of course, follow us on all the Instagrams and all those things. And until next time, guys.
Yeah. We'll
Peace.
see you then. See ya.